from the ground, but I'm not looking down. Feel the warmth of the breeze rushing over me. Now it's soaring high, reach and touch the sky. We can
I'll give you guys credit for the first.
Happy Friday, everyone!
Yay! Happy Friday! Yay! And we're back here on the set. Welcome to the Let's Do Video podcast, the LDV Rocks podcast. Kelly,
Yes.
How was your week?
My week was weird because I feel like I worked a ton at the beginning of the week and then it just like starts to peter out and like now I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm done. But it was good. It was good.
Can totally relate. Like I pushed it so hard Monday, Tuesday, and I think of all the stuff I did. It's like 3 weeks worth of work. But then yesterday I sort of was a little watching TV, not pushing quite as hard, and just guilt. And
yes, like, oh, I didn't feel guilty.
Oh, see, you're smarter than me. I shouldn't, because I did a week's worth of work already, and I still have some time left on Friday, but I just feel like there's always more. But speaking of work, one of the hardest working camera developers I know is our guest on the show, so let's welcome. Hey, do I have my yay button? Where's my yay?
And the man!
Hey, how you doing, guys?
There we go. Peanut Gallery is very happy.
Hey, meow.
And we got our kitties, of course.
Yeah.
The close up on the
Good
kitties.
to see you guys.
Good to see you.
As always, two my favorite people.
Great to see
Same,
you.
same.
And we appreciate it. I think we might be getting a first peek, or at least a very early
You
peek.
guys are like totally the first real public view of what we're going to be premiering on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you, David.
Yes, may the 4th be with you.
And you, Kelly, as well.
And you?
Yeah.
Is Kelly nerdy enough to get that? I think that's just for us nerds.
No, I love Star Wars.
Oh,
I watched
good.
I watched every Star Wars episode in chronological order from start to finish during COVID, including all of the ones in between, and just finished The Mandalorian a couple of months ago. So yes.
I still haven't done Mandalorian.
Oh,
Mandalorian's pretty fun. It was pretty fun. But I remember I'm old enough to have been standing in line to go see the first Star Wars movie over and over and over again. Probably saw it 14 times, 15 times at the Westgate Theater in Beaverton, Oregon. And it was a blast. It was the most amazing thing that hit the movies ever at that time.
Right. It
and now
changed
it's
everything.
like, yeah, whatever.
No, not for me. It's still
yeah, whatever.
For me, it's still everything.
Yep, it's pretty fun. So when we decided we were going to do our launch of the Nav AI and the Trident AI, by the way, you're listening to me on the Trident AI, but you're looking at me on the Navi.
Got it.
It's the same. They're the same camera, but I've got because I do this to show off the. This is the Trident.
Got it.
That's what that looks like. Yeah, it's a pretty chunky guy, but it sits up on top of a monitor really nicely, and it can mount to the wall. It can mount underneath. Yeah, that's a nice, really nice, all-in-one type device. So it does the AI capability of what you're seeing now.
Yes, let's get right into, I don't want to miss the lead here. Is the hot feature that we're seeing today is, one of the complaints that I have after everyone being on video for a year is some people have got it and they realize they need to center themselves in front of the camera and get themselves nicely framed, and then it's a good experience. And some people, I'm still seeing them off to the side or looking at their noses, or they lean back or something happens and they're not framed. And I've been trying to tell people, solve it on the people side, teach people how to get in front of the camera, but they don't listen. They don't listen. So I want you to solve it for me on the technology side. And I think you're already showing me.
Done.
You know, what
Done.
happens? What happens if someone moves and, oh, great, now they're, you're still framed.
What happened?
I'll just stay over here.
Are you sure you didn't just carry it with you?
Yeah. I've got really long arms and move the camera around.
Got puppet strings.
Yeah. No, it does a great job of this. I mean, as I walk around, it's, for the automatic, really what it's doing is automatic framing, auto framing. So it's not really tracking me, so to speak. It's trying to frame what's going on in the space. So as it's doing it, this is one of the things I think is cool. Look at that. I'm not being blown out. My hand, you can still see my hand in front of a window.
Right. You're never supposed to go in front of a window. Cameras can't handle that.
Yeah. They can now, man.
The future.
It's Future Friday.
And for anyone watching, as someone who's covered technology like this for a long time, I think a lot of people don't get this right away, and they say, "Oh, okay, so that's for like if a teacher in a classroom is walking around, or if a presenter is walking around." It's not. I mean, it can be used for that, but the way I want to see it used, the way I think the world needs to use it, it's for just when you're sitting down. Just when you're sitting down and not moving, even just to get it right in the first place, because I think a lot of people don't get themselves framed right in the first place. So even if you never move, even if you never see it shift, it solves the problem.
Well,
you're good, Kelly. You're good.
There's a lot of there's a lot of products out there that do framing, but I don't think that they do it in a natural way. For one thing, it jumps usually,
a cut instead of a sweep.
It's bam, it just goes in. This has a nice smooth flow. It's like a pan tilt zoom camera, but that also works. That's the same way your eyeball works. So if you were to sit around and talk to me here in the space, as I move, your focus is staying on my face, and this is the way the camera works.
Cool.
It moves, it moves around, it moves smooth. I'm really, really, really pleased with the functionality of this camera. And you know what's going to blow you away, dude?
What's that?
Are you ready? $449.
Wow. That is a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually the tracking cameras are at least, about twice that, if not more.
Yeah. Well, and look at the color rendition. And if you notice, I have a lot of straight lines in my office. It doesn't look like I'm fisheye very much, huh?
Yeah, I'm not seeing any curves on your,
No.
on the rack behind you or the.
We got it down to less than 2%, and I think that's fine. There's you try to correct it too much, and then you start introducing other artifacts. So.
Yeah, well, there's always going to be some, because you're taking you're basically taking a round frame and putting it into a square shape. You're going to have some.
Yeah, going to be a little distortion, but we can do we can do a lot of correcting, pre-process. So what we're doing is it's a little hard to explain, but we're taking that light and refracting it so it even it hits the sensor in a more square manner as well. So there's pre-processing going on, and then post-processing, obviously.
Now, is our target market for this, is this for the exec who's now working at home all the time, who's like, hey, I need something a little bit better than the regular webcam because I'm a C-level person, or is this for the meeting rooms when we're going back to the office for our new huddle spaces?
I'm more along the line of, this is an education camera.
Oh, okay.
Today's market, this is what that camera is for. As we move back into collaboration space. The conference rooms, if you want to call them huddle rooms, I don't think anybody's going to be huddling. As we go back into those spaces, people don't want, we're going to have a lot of BYOD, BYOM type products, Mersive, Barco, Wolf Vision. These guys have the products where you can walk into the room, connect up, and you're good to go. I think that what we're going to see is a lot of these devices going into those kind of rooms. People walk in, they don't want to move the camera around, Banjo Zoom cameras. That's one thing people have told me a lot of times. I don't want to move the camera.
They're afraid to. They're afraid they're going to break it.
I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch it. Can't find the remote anyway.
No one has ever used the batteries in every pan tilt zoom remote are still at 100%.
Oh yeah.
No one uses those.
Unless it was sitting underneath the tablet and
unless someone pressed it by accident.
Yeah,
but we need the functionality. We need to be panning and tilting and zooming. We're just afraid to do it ourselves.
Yeah, we have these wide shots or preset camera positions, and those are great. I think they're cool, but it's not natural vision, and that's kind of what we're trying to make this be, is very, very natural. You go in, you do the thing, do a call. You don't have to think about the camera position.
Yeah.
It's right.
So how big is it?
Right. That big.
Oh, wow. Oh, it's not one of the big boys. This is a little guy.
No, man, it's the world's smallest AI camera.
It is not.
Yes, it is. It's that big. It's literally the size of the 1C.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Because then you can actually put it on your laptop.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
This is on my laptop.
I was not expecting that either. I thought it was that big boy.
Yeah, right?
No, the big boys, the reason we had to go large with that is so that we can get a good sized speaker in there to fill up a small to middle room size room, and then get the 4 microphone array on the other side of it. So we have a speaker on one side and then an isolated beamforming array on the other. So the audio is really good too.
And you have these available? I've heard there's an issue with companies getting chips for devices like this, and no one can make anything.
I'm telling you, it's tough, man. Yeah, we have them available.
Okay.
Just leave it at that. We're very good at making deals with chip manufacturers.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get build a new, upgrade my PC, but the cost of a graphics card is more than the cost of the entire rest of the PC right now.
Seriously?
Graphics cards are they're
you know why that is. You know why that is.
I know what that is.
No, why it's happening? I thought it was because of the chips.
Crypto.
Oh yeah. People are using graphics cards to make these.
Yeah.
They call them these rigs that just make bitcoins and stuff.
Bit miners.
Yeah, so there's these computers, these superpowered computers with tons and tons of graphics cards in them.
Actually, they're not really powerful. They're not really big, powerful computers.
It's the graphics cards.
They just have a lot of GPU.
The graphics cards, and they just burn up all day, and it's a whole thing. They're saying the electricity that's being used for these computers is like contributing to global warming. It's so bad. It's like the amount of power that we're using.
Well, in Eastern Washington, has become like a crypto mining center. And the reason is because of all the hydroelectric power available. So they're in a town called Wenatchee, Washington, which is famous for apples. They had all these big giant warehouses for apples, and you can go out there and you can get this real estate pretty inexpensively, and it's right next to the Columbia River, so power is really inexpensive there. Some of the least expensive power in the world. So that Wenatchee's become like the Bitcoin capital of the world, because a lot of warehouse space that they can put in racks and racks and racks of these servers, and a lot of power available, and there's millions of dollars being made every day out there these machines running.
And meanwhile, people like me who just want to have like slightly higher resolution kitty cats or want to play some, some video games, it's like you get on a waiting list, or you can try to go to eBay and get a graphics card for $2,000 from someone who managed to get one, but this stuff's just not available. It's crazy. A little off topic.
I know, it's crazy.
Sorry
How
about
do you
that.
guys know this stuff?
Oh, because I'm a nerd. And because I've been researching, I've been trying to get a graphics card.
And this is my world, Kelly.
Like, why are they not available?
Welcome to it. It's like, God, I'd much rather be sailing. You know that.
I don't really understand all the my understanding of the Bitcoin stuff is that right now it's going up, and if I decide to buy any, it'll go down. As long as I don't buy it, it'll keep going up, so I'll feel stupid. Like every day I don't buy it, it's going to go up higher and higher and higher, and then one day I'm going to break down and say, I got to get some of this, and then it's going to crash.
Let me tell you what Bitcoin's doing today. It's actually looking pretty good today. In the last 24 hours, it's up 6.89%. In the last hour, it's dropped 0.66%. In the last week, it's gone up 13.65. Last month, it kind of took a hit.
What is one Bitcoin worth? Isn't one Bitcoin worth
$56,591.40?
Oh my God.
And there's stories on the internet about people who, like 10 years ago when Bitcoin was starting, used a Bitcoin to buy a pizza. And now a Bitcoin is worth 56,000.
Used to be a buck. Used to be a buck.
I want a pizza.
Do you really?
Kinda.
I'm down.
Oh,
thick or thin?
Thin always.
You know, I started, I like to cook, right? So I use these cauliflower crusts.
Oh, I love cauliflower crust pizzas.
Okay, so I figured out the best way to make a cauliflower crust pizza.
I don't make them. I just buy them frozen.
Oh, so you get the 3-pack frozen one from Costco, right? And then take one of those and I put it into a big cast iron pan.
Okay. Ooh.
And I
good thinking.
As I'm cooking the crust, I'm chopping up all the rest of the crap that I'm gonna put on it because
right.
I'm gonna do that. So I make up a tomato sauce with some red hot peppers and spread that on, and then I take pepperoni over the top of that, and then fresh mozzarella.
Seriously. No, pizza.
So I make my mound. So meanwhile, the cast iron pan is cooking that crust on the bottom, and then I have my oven heated up to like 425. So after I'm building all this pizza on there, the crust has been cooking pretty good on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I throw it in the oven and it cooks everything else. And it still continues to cook on the bottom because it's cast iron. And pull that thing out and you get nice crispy crust. And then everything else is just cooked perfectly. It's so good.
Yum.
So good.
Sounds so good. It's always better when you cook it yourself.
I love to cook. So it's my thing. It's my thing.
I wish I could get into it because whenever I cook something, I'm really satisfied. But I'm always like, it bothers me if it takes me more time to cook something than it does to eat it. I always feel like disappointed afterwards.
Really?
Well,
like I spent 3 hours and then like 5 minutes is gone.
Well,
it doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I don't know what.
Well,
I
go
it
back
takes
and forth.
3 hours.
Fair enough.
You making your own butter or something?
You made a prime rib one day.
I made a prime rib, and I make an amazing brisket, and that's worth it. It takes all day.
Brisket, yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's so good.
But you don't have to do anything for 2.5 of those hours.
Right.
Yeah, you have to remember that it's happening. You can't forget. You can't go take a nap.
Yeah, well, you can. It's a little more well done.
What I do with the brisket is when I take it out of the pot, then I put it in a casserole dish and put it in the oven at a high temperature to kind of like crispy up the top.
Yeah, caramelize it. Yeah.
Yum.
Now
I'm officially hungry.
Hey guys, I got to bail here pretty quick. I'm really happy that I was able to show this to you guys.
Yeah, that's badass. I can't believe how tiny it is. I'm gonna have to get one.
And Kelly, seriously, the price, amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
And the the Trident, the audio bar with this camera in it. So imagine, it's the small conference room all in one device.
Yep.
$850.
Boom.
Boom.
That's right priced.
Mic drop.
Or as we're saying for next Tuesday, tune into our webinar next Tuesday. Do a little more in-depth talk about this. But it's a lightsaber drop.
There you go.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be
May
with
the force
you.
be with you.
All right. Have a good weekend, Dan.
Thanks so
All
much.
right,
for
see you
stopping by.
guys. Enjoy.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Let me see if I can reset our view to make it make sense now.
The
We're still good?
kittens.
There we go. Okay.
Are we still live?
We're still live.
Whoa.
And it's Friday.
Friday.
I think that was a great show. That's the mix I'm looking for. We had some actual AV news and announcements.
Right.
We talked about pizza and cooking and stuff too.
Oh, dude, those frozen cauliflower pizzas though are like amazing.
Yeah, I like that stuff. And
They
I think we have
taste
to
like-
address the fact that we both have new hair, but yours is so good and mine is such a mistake. Oh my god. You look so good. It's such a good look for you. And I'm like,
I feel like mine's very big, like very Texas.
it is a little 80s. It's got a little bit, look who's talking. But it's more volume than I'm used to seeing on you.
I love your hair. It's like a lion mane.
I thought it would be, the idea was to be dark at the top and red ends. But and what happened is I don't know what I'm doing with the bleach yet. So it got light up top. Wherever is bleached is where it's red, and I got really bleached up top.
Oh, well, I mean, it'll die down at some point, right?
I'm thinking I'm gonna make the top purple again because the purple doesn't show up on camera. It looks brown. And then I just have red ends. This is what the AV community is tuning in for. The AV Tweets people, if you're out there, by the way, we should shout them out more often. Our industry, one really good thing about our industry, a lot of good things for our industry, but the AV Tweets community, we have a great community of people who are always on Twitter, just sharing regular life stuff, but also AV stuff all the time. and they're people that we know in the industry, and it's always so super positive. We should do an episode just about AV Tweets.
Totally in.
But I don't think they're wanting to hear any more about my hair. Hopefully they're interested in the camera, and they'll check out more at VDO360.com.
I love your hair.
And with that, should we go into our final thoughts?
Yes, I have some final thoughts for you folks.
Right,
yes.
Let's do this.
Wow. All the way to the other side of the world. Hello. What's that bar?
Uh-oh. I can fix it.
Can't have that when I give my final thought. Perfect. Okay. So since we were talking about Star Wars in May 4th, I thought I'd let you know of a couple fun facts about May 4th. One, did you know that in 2013, the Walt Disney Company actually made May 4th the official Star Wars holiday?
They have the power to do that?
Yeah, it's a fish. And then also, did you know that it kicked off in Canada? So it's actually Canadian.
May 4th is Canadian.
Yes, it's Canadian.
I'm okay with that. I like Canada.
Yeah, me too. And it originated from the fans. It had nothing to do with Lucasfilm or any of like the money-making merchandising stuff. It was completely 100% from the fans. So
grassroots.
Yes, grassroots. So to all of you listening,
Paige says your hair looks bomb.
Oh, thanks, Paige. I love you. But yeah, with that, may the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a great weekend. Yay.
Oh, shouldn't show my hand.
Oh, that's okay.
Perfect.